The San Francisco 49ers have traded for D-end Bryce Huff from the Eagles. It is officially official. We knew about this happening just a few days ago, but now I just wanted to wait. I wanted okay, I've seen things fall through. I've seen things not work out. I just want to make sure this is actually happening. And we just found out today, after June 1st, which is June 2nd today, that it's officially official. Bryce Huff to the San Francisco 49ers for a mid-round pick, a day 3 mid-round pick, which means most likely it's going to be a 4th rounder or 5th rounder. That would be a mid-round pick on day 3. Now, to assess the situation between the Eagles and the 49ers, I think it's a W for the Eagles. I think it's a W for the 49ers. Now, how is it a W for the Eagles? He was a problem for the Eagles. There was drama with them. There was some tension between Bryce Huff and the Eagles. He was a death piece with the Eagles. He was benched in the Super Bowl for a third death piece. It just wasn't working out. He didn't fit Vic Fangio's scheme. It was just a terrible signing for the Eagles, and it did not work out. And they were stuck with paying this guy $17 million this year because they signed him last year. Well, I guess the year before that one, I guess is how you put it. But it just didn't work out. It was one of Howie Roseman's worst signings. And now the Eagles can get out from under that. They only have to eat $9 million, while the San Francisco 49ers only have to pay $7.95 million, technically $8 million if you really want to round it up. You might as well. And so the Eagles get out from that, and that's a W to me. I mean, they also get a 4th or a 5th rounder, and they move off a player and all of its money in the next 2 years that was a problem for them and hand it off to another team. Now, for the 49ers, it is a complete W because the San Francisco 49ers trade for a player that was absolutely perfect, absolutely amazing, fits Robert Saleh's scheme to a T under him with the Jets, under Robert Saleh with the Jets. Bryce Huff was absolutely perfect with Robert Saleh under the Jets. 10 sacks, led the league in QB pressure rate. This guy was phenomenal. Now, is there potential where he's not as good as that 10 sack, high rate quarterback pressure guy? Of course, there's definitely a possibility of that. However, I do think his floor is still a good player. I think he would, at the very least, be a good depth piece player at the very end of the day. And at the end of the day, the San Francisco 49ers absolutely needed depth at pass rush. They had a rookie in Mikael Williams. They had Samo and Gross Matos, who both have question marks of can they get themselves off the feet. They didn't have great years last year. For Samo, technically had a good year for what he was, but he's still depth piece worth. Same thing with Gross Matos. He got hurt a couple times. He had some good games, but never consistently put it together. The San Francisco 49ers are trading for Bryce Huff, who's familiar with Robert Saleh's scheme, who is a vet, and not only does he fit Robert Saleh's scheme, he really excelled under that scheme. He'll most likely play in third downs, and then Mikael Williams will kick inside at the D tackle position on a wide 9 pass rush. So that's probably what Bryce Huff is probably used for. So the 49ers get a very valuable, really good depth piece at the very bottom, or to possibly the best player Nick Bosa has ever been across of. That's what you're potentially getting out of this. And you're only paying $8 million this year for the guy, while next year he has less guaranteed money. So if it doesn't work out and you want to get out from under him, it's very viable for the San Francisco 49ers. So this is an absolute W for the 49ers. This is an absolute W for the Eagles. I'm not going to lie to you. I am super shocked the 49ers and Eagles traded with each other. I thought there was tension. I thought there was some animosity. But you know what? I guess Debo is gone, and he was really the source of all that tension. So maybe they don't think of themselves that it's that big of a deal. It's been a couple of years, so it's whatever to them. But I still think it's kind of shocking to see these two teams trade each other. It's very interesting. When I first saw it, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is a lie. This has to be an absolute lie. Came out of nowhere. But yeah, from what I've seen also, many 49ers fans absolutely love this trade. They think it's a W2 as well. And that's great to see. I'm glad that 49ers fans agree. There are one or two that are skeptical. We're like, I'll see it when I believe it because he did have down years. That's going to happen. Some people are not going to look at the positive, or they need to see it to believe it, which I respect because, like I said, Bryce Huff did have some down years prior to that amazing season with Robert Saleh when he was in development. And then with the Eagles, he had a terrible season. So he could just be a one-hit wonder. That does happen in the NFL. But Bryce Huff is 27 years old, and I do trust Robert Saleh knowing how to use this guy and max his abilities out. I truly love this move. And there was a tiny bit concern from me for the depth. I was like, Samo, he's got potential. He can work together. Gross Matos, I still believe in him. But again, like I said, he had a couple of good games, but then just wasn't very consistent. I had some question marks about the depth, right? Especially who's starting with Mikael Williams, who is a rookie. So I had some questions. But with Bryce Huff coming in and being who he is and what he is, I think this is the best possible outcome for the San Francisco 49ers. This is amazing. Now, the one thing that we're yet to know about is the mid-round pick. Is it a 4th or a 5th rounder? We'll know in time. I'll make a short about it, react to it, or whatever. But either way, to me, a 4th or 5th rounder for this guy, where I expect the 4th rounder to be a late 4th pick anyway, because I do expect this team to go to the playoffs at the very, very least. So they get a late 4th rounder for this guy who I think has huge upside for the 49ers. So either way, whatever the pick is, I think it's going to be totally worth it. And the Eagles end up getting a very good pick for themselves, where they'll have 13 draft picks. The Eagles will have 13 draft picks next year. Jesus Christ, dude, that's insane. So they're going to be set up. The Eagles have a great situation go for themselves. They get a W out of this trade. San Francisco 49ers, yeah, they lose our 4th or 5th rounder, but guess what? The San Francisco 49ers have comp picks coming in next year. So they just replenish that 4th rounder or 5th rounder, whatever it may be anyway. So this is a W for the 49ers, a W for the Eagles. It's absolutely perfect. I'm just shocked that the 49ers and Eagles actually traded with each other. So great move by John Lynch, great move by Kyle, whoever's involved, Parag making it happen. Same with the Eagles playing ball and allowing the Eagles to reconstruct Bryce Huff's contract so they can make it work. I think it's very kind of them to do that. To be like, hey, let's work together to get you out of here, a place you want to go. Because from what I've seen, Bryce Huff wanted to go to San Francisco 49ers. Bryce Huff wanted to be back with Robert Saleh where he can succeed and really flourish. So great for Bryce Huff, great for the fans on both sides. Like this is one of the most W trades I've ever seen. And I cannot wait to see Bryce Huff on the field on 3rd downs next to Mikael Williams and whoever's that starting D tackle and Nick Bosa. I'm absolutely thrilled. So let me know what you guys think of this trade. Was it worth it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What are your reserves about it? I would love to hear it. Did the Eagles win? Did they lose? 49ers win? Did they lose? I mean, your opinion matters here because at the end of the day, it's just one big conversation about the sport that we love. And be sure to hit that like button because every single like makes my 49ers heart grow from here to here. All love, fam. I'll see you next video. Bang, bang, not a gang, baby. We got Bryce Huff.